Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me. I'm Diahann Lassus, and this presentation compares coaching in the United States, Japan, Australia, Germany, and Norway. I focus the presentation on the basic question: what is similar across coaching systems in the US and other countries, and what is different? I will use these 5 countries as examples because they represent different sports structures. School and college sport in the United States, disciplined school sport culture in Japan, athlete-centered and pathway-based systems in Australia, formalized coach education and club academies in Germany, and participation-centered youth sport in Norway. The goal is to identify what coaches can learn from each system. The core question is simple. What do coaching systems around the world have in common, and where do they differ? Across countries, we increasingly see shared attention to athlete welfare, evidence-based practice, better coach-athlete relationships, and long-term development. But the systems differ in important ways. Athletes develop through different pathways. Coaches are educated differently. Leadership expectations vary, and cultural values shape how coaches and athletes interact. Coate and Gilbert's coaching effectiveness framework helps us compare coaching beyond wins and losses, while Taylor and Garrett's work on professionalization helps explain why coach education is becoming more formal around the world. The first major point is that international coaching systems share several trends. Coaches are paying more attention to athlete welfare, mental health, and safeguarding. They're also expected to learn continuously through formal education, mentoring, and reflection. In high-performance environments, sports science and performance analytics are increasingly common. Finally, many systems are moving toward long-term athlete development rather than only short-term results. This doesn't mean every country coaches in the same way. It means that modern coaching is converging around shared priorities: athlete well-being, coach learning, evidence-based practice, and long-term development. This slide summarizes the biggest differences. The United States relies heavily on schools and NCAA athletics, which makes competition and advancement central. Japan combines school sport and federation pathways with strong emphasis on discipline and character, especially in examples such as high school baseball. Australia uses club systems and national pathways that emphasize athlete-centered development. Germany is closely associated with club academies and structured coach education. Norway emphasizes community clubs' participation in child-centered sport. The key is that these differences are structural and cultural. They do not mean one system is automatically better. They show how countries organize sport around different values. The first major difference is athlete development. In the United States, many athletes are socialized into a pathway that moves from youth sport to high school sport to NCAA athletics. That creates real opportunities, but also strong pressure to compete and be recruited. Japan's school-based and federation-supported model often emphasizes team identity and discipline. Australia uses club structures and the FTEM framework to think about development from foundations through elite and mastery stages. Germany's academy system provides structured technical progression in club settings. Norway's local club model encourages multi-sport participation and enjoyment before specialization. Across all systems, the similarity is the growing recognition that athletes need developmentally appropriate training, not just more competition. The second difference is philosophy and leadership. Japanese coaching, especially in high school baseball, has been studied as a system that emphasizes discipline, social responsibility, and team identity. Morita and colleagues found that Japanese high school baseball coaches connected coaching with character and social development. In the United States, coaching often balances performance goals with increasing attention to athlete voice and leadership. Australia and Norway tend to sit closer to the athlete-centered end of the continuum, emphasizing reflection, autonomy, and enjoyment. Germany often sits between these approaches with structured instruction and clear technical standards. The similarity across countries is that effective coaching depends on trust, clear expectations, and strong relationships. Coach education is both a similarity and a difference. The similarity is that coaching is becoming more professionalized and more accountable. Coaches are no longer expected to rely on personal playing experience. The difference is how countries prepare coaches. The United States is decentralized, with education depending on the sport, school, or governing body. Australia provides a more coordinated national coaching model. Germany is known for structured football licensing under IFA and DFB related pathways. Norway emphasizes child-centered coaching, participation, safety, and inclusion. Japan often combines formal education with mentorship, observation, and sports-specific traditions. Taylor and Garrett explain that coaching is increasingly professionalized through formal qualification standards and accountability. This helps explain why countries such as Australia, Germany, and Norway place strong emphasis on structured coach education. Sports science is one of the clearest similarities across modern coaching systems. Coaches increasingly use GPS tracking, video analysis, biomechanics, motion capture, and recovery monitoring. This is common in American college sport, Australian high-performance systems, German soccer academies, Japanese Olympic preparation, and Norwegian endurance sport. But the important distinction is that technology should support coaching judgment, not replace it. Data can help coaches manage workload and plan training, but it cannot replace communication, trust, and understanding the athlete as a person. The practical takeaway is not that the United States should copy another country. Instead, American coaches can keep the strengths of their own system while learning from others. The U.S. system provides competitive opportunity and visibility, especially through high school and college sport. From Australia, coaches can learn from the athlete-centered reflection and well-being practices. From Japan, they can learn from the discipline, character education, and attention to shared responsibility. From Germany, they can learn from the structured coach education and long-term planning. From Norway, they can learn from the idea that participation, joy, and multi-sport development can support rather than weaken elite performance. The strongest coaching model is built by blending evidence, culture, and athlete needs. This slide lists the key sources used to support this presentation. Thank you.